What is up, BDS crew? I am out at an empty house. The best setup for a cleaner. We love empty houses. So I'm gonna show you guys around what we're doing today in this home. This is a repeat client. I actually got referred to him by one of my other clients. So I cleaned his carpet at his new home, and now he's having me out at his previous home before sale to clean carpets here and hardwood floors. So we are going to be cleaning all the carpets first. Adam's upstairs. He got here before I did. I did an estimate this morning in a different city, and then I came over here to help him finish this because this is a very large job. So I am setting up to clean this room here. He already pre-vacuumed, as you can tell, all the carpets. So I'm going to be starting out by pre-spraying. So over in that corner there, and then this corner here, kind of an L shape, basically to up about that light socket there, with some urine. So I have my pre-treatment ready to go to deal with that. And then there is, let's see, 4 bedrooms upstairs that are carpeted. And then of course we got all this hardwood that we're going to be doing leading up to the hallway in there, and then the rest of it downstairs is all hardwood outside of that room I'm cleaning. So perfect setup for when there's 2 different services being done. All the carpet is separated in between with hardwood, so it's easier for us to not have to go back and forth over carpet cleaning the hardwood, like for example in a closet, the master closet, and then over to carpet. Kind of makes it easier, if that makes sense. We're not having to switch back and forth from clean carpet to hard surface, carpet to hard surface, because sometimes there's some a lot of houses in my area where they got a hard surface in the bathroom and then the closet's carpeted. So a lot of times we're having to go clean the carpet in there, clean the tile, for example, in the bathroom, and then clean the carpet again. So you're having to switch back and forth, and it takes, you know, more time going between different pressures for different cleaning styles for those surfaces. So anyways, great setup here. We got free reigns to the house. Being empty is perfect. We're just going to be doing a clean here. We're not doing any recoating or anything like that. You can see there's some fading. An area rug was here. That's why it's kind of like a perfect square setup in this dining section, and then it's kind of lighter over here. So I think his area rug actually didn't make much of a difference. You can kind of see it stops right here. So it's more probably sun fading from the back here, because this is east and west facing, so we get a lot of afternoon sun. It looks like that comes down through here and was beating on this portion of the floor. And then a dog peed right here, so it kind of messed up the finish. So like I said, I'm not putting a new finish on. There's really no reason for us to do for that for his situation, because he's selling the home. You know, and to be honest, if you do that, you're doing the new homeowner a favor, really, at that point. So he opted to just have us do a cleaning service over it, so the house is prepped for sale. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Like I said, Adam already pre-vacked all the carpet, so this is all perfectly set up for me to walk in and get this cleaned up while he finishes the carpets upstairs, and then we're going to tag team the hardwood floors after that is done. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get to it. Alright, I know it's been quite a while since I've showed me pre-spraying, but it is kind of tough to do one-handed, so bear with me. So this room isn't that bad. Like I said, it's just got some pet stains that you can't see, but can be under a black light. And when I came by and did the estimate, this area here is what lit up, and it wasn't horrible, but they were present. So that's why I'm pre-spraying it a little heavier there, and then the rest of it will be kind of a normal amount until I get to that other corner that I mentioned that was hit with some pet urine. So unless you got some staining going on with the chemicals that I'm using, a nice even coat across it is generally sufficient. Unless it's heavily soiled, then of course you just are diluting your pre-spray a little differently. And then if it's a bad spot, a lot of times I'll, of course, give it a little extra. So on a little side note, today, wish us luck. We are doing a cleaning interview for somebody in our house cleaning department. That is the area in our business that kind of took a standstill a little bit when COVID hit. And granted, we understand why, but of course, it always stinks when business is down. But we're trying to hire somebody new. Seems pretty ambitious and willing to learn. So I'm hoping that works out so we can continue our growth in house cleaning, because we are trying to get back to normal. So this is the corner, of course, that had some pet stains, and it was about up to a light socket to my left. So I'm treating this a little heavier than I normally would. They weren't bad, so it's just kind of a heavy topical spray, not so much a saturation of it. So I'm just going past this light socket here. Pardon my shakiness right now, I'm actually a little hungry. I need to eat something. So I'm gonna finish this up, eat a little something while this dwells, and I'll come back in and start running the CRB. Oh no, got an outlet that doesn't work. I was hoping to keep it off the carpet. Let's hope this one works. There we go. So we are out in Escalon, California, if I didn't mention that already. Of course, this house is up for sale, 2-story home. Nice house. Escalon is a kind of a small country town. Don't believe there's much more than maybe 20,000 people here. Maybe less. Could be way off. I haven't checked recently. There's probably less. Uh-oh. I guess that plug is a little loose. Oh, it's still in there. Maybe this. Let's see if the bottom one has better connection. Didn't know look like it, but once I'm out of this corner, it should be fine. Setup, he's got speakers in the walls here on each side of this room. Looks like there was a fairly large TV in here. He's got some additional plug-ins in the wall up higher. I was saying, this was a repeat client that was a referral, I believe, if I remember correctly, from a family member probably about 2 or so months ago. Maybe a little bit longer than that, because I didn't have the new van wrapped yet. I literally had it for maybe a week. Did that first job, which was also pretty much an empty home that was being sold. I'm telling you, empty homes, we do so many of them nowadays, which I'm not going to complain because they're the easiest. But boy, houses are being sold left and right, at least here in California. But you know, people being able to work from home, finding that out, and their jobs allowing it now, interest rates being low. Now people can actually upgrade because they can afford to purchase a larger home for their family. Which, if you're going to look for some positive things that occurred from last year, that would be one of them. Which in turn allows people to spend more time with their family, because all that travel time for like those that lived kind of in my area and traveled to the Bay Area, which can be easily a minimum of 2 to even up to 3 hours of driving, depending on your schedule. One direction, I should say. So 4 hours to 6 hours of driving. It's crazy. So that's a positive. You want to look for some positive things out of the situation. So besides some wear, based on what I'm seeing from the CRB and pre-spray, this carpet's going to clean up nice. Okay, and I responded to some comments in the last, I think it was in the last video. Somebody asked what they should look for when seeking out a professional cleaner. So, number one, that is going to be a red flag for sure, is going to be if it seems cheap. Now, different states, at least here, have different costs of living. So therefore, my price may be more because I'm in California compared to, like, say, I don't know, Montana or Texas, where cost of living is lower. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a cleaner. If they're like, oh yeah, we can clean 3 rooms, 4 rooms, 5 rooms, whatever it may be, and it just seems cheap. Once I know that information, the first thing I would ask after that is like, oh, okay, well, you know, what's your cleaning process like? What steps do you take? Find out what they say. Don't tell them what I'm going to mention or what other cleaners that you may have spoke to have mentioned that may not be in your area. But find out what their cleaning process is. Do they come in, are they just steam cleaning? Or hot water extracting? We're not literally actually steam cleaning per se. It's a common term for what we're doing here, but if they just come in and are hot water extracting your carpet, meaning no pre-spray, that's a red flag. If they're just pre-spraying and rinsing the carpet, which the pre-spray could be the chemical that they're using to, you know, loosen the soils, but if they're just pre-spraying and rinsing and that's it, and they're cheap, there's a high probability that the chemistry they're using could also be pretty weak, because we got to think about cost of doing business. So there are people that are doing this that, like, you know, if I do a bunch of jobs, I don't charge that much, I should be able to make a decent living. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for those that are doing that and not providing good chemistry. And in a lot of cases where I'm at, I mean, there's pets in almost every home. Good agitation. So are they using a CRB? Are they at the very least using a carpet rake to agitate the traffic areas? Because realistically, the traffic areas is what the agitation needs to be done on. Like going up against walls and everything like that is not 100% necessary, but, you know, I do it because that's how I present myself in my business. I want it to be done everywhere. So that's a red flag. Not using a CRB, or at least, you know, giving it a good agitation with a carpet rake of some kind. Usually, obviously, the ones you guys see the most, the nylon tip rakes. So that would be one of my red flags there. Are they pre-vacuuming? Are they asking you at least to pre-vacuum and, you know, do a thorough job before they come? If they don't offer vacuuming, but you vacuum, you know, really well beforehand, that makes a big difference. So if they don't do that, or they don't even mention that to you, in my opinion, that's a red flag. Because what if you have pets in the house, lots of dander? That's a problem. Getting that wet instead of getting it out while it's dry is so much easier. Why would you make mud when you can clean up dry debris a lot easier? And then, of course, rinsing and extracting is the next step. So are they using chemistry in their rinse tank, or are they just rinsing with water? In my personal opinion, if they're using an aggressive high pH cleaner, it's alkaline is high pH. So meaning, like, let's say 12, 13 pH, 14 is the highest. If they're using a 14 pH, that's caustic and that's excessive. But, you know, there are some chemicals that are that crazy, and they clean really well, but they're not good for our health if it's at a 14 or even 13 and then 13 and a half. So keep that in mind. And then going back to the rinse, are they neutralizing what they put in? So if they used a high pH like that, are they using a lowered pH rinsing agent to bring that pH back down? Because if they set your carpet into a 13 pH or 12 pH and don't use a neutralizing rinse, you have probably a higher probability of leaving residue behind, and then your carpets won't stay clean as long. Areas may brown out potentially, and then you're going to be wanting them back to rinse it again. So in other words, you probably would have to rinse it very, very well and dry it out very, very well if you're not using a rinsing agent. So you can, in some cases, get away with that, but if their cost is really cheap to come and clean your carpets, there's a good chance that they're not going to spend a ton of time rinsing the carpet out if they're not using a neutralizing rinse, because time is money, and if they're cheap, they have a limit that they know of that it takes to get through a job and still be profitable. So these are things that we got to think about when we're hiring somebody. It doesn't matter what industry it is, but if something's super cheap and compared to another service, you got, and one service explains, like, so this is our process, this is what we do, and the second that there's 2-3 steps more of things they do compared to the cheaper one, I think self-consciously we understand that it's not going to be potentially as good of a job, and then we've gotten a lot of calls to say, oh yeah, we used so-and-so in the past, but we couldn't get a hold of him this time. They weren't answering the phone or anything. And there's a lot of times where if it was a cheaper cleaner, there's a lot of times that they might have unfortunately gone out of business because they modeled themselves to be really cheap. And so when people couldn't afford to have their carpets cleaned as often, or whatever service it is, that company's low amount of revenue coming in becomes really low, and it becomes harder to do business because, of course, cost of business goes up almost every year, at least here in California, and so it becomes difficult for us to maintain a business unless we are really well liked, do a great job, have high quality, charge a premium for our service without obviously gouging. So you got to figure out that area that is okay to charge without gouging somebody. And then this way, so we can pay our employees a good wage, fair wage based on the work at hand, so they feel like you're got their backs, and keeping happy employees, because that's number one. If you can keep your employees happy, your business is going to thrive a lot easier when you get into that position where you're got people working for you. So always take care of your employees. So that ties into it. All these things tie into it. Their process, amount they're charging. If something happens, a mistake or accident, little thing like that, are they going to be able to fix it, afford to fix it? Are they licensed? Are they insured? Do they carry workman's comp for their workers? If they have any, if they're not just an owner operator. These are all the things you got to think about when you're building a business ahead of time. Even if you're starting out as an owner operator, you got to think of those things. So you got to charge like you already are an employee, and you're going to have workman's comp and everything like that. So that way you can afford to get it for yourself and then get it for your employees. Do a fantastic job. Put these moving blankets down, corner guards, this pop-up door to protect the home from exhaust from the machines. That corner guard there, having that linked off there so the hose isn't tugging on the walls. All these little things for a setup that we do. I've had pretty much almost every one of my clients say, I've never seen anybody use that before, especially the door. I don't think anybody in my area has that pop-up door. So all those little things matter when it comes to picking a company, because they care about your home and not just the dollar amount that they're bringing in. So those are things you should look for in your carpet cleaning company specifically. Do they vacuum? To recap here, vacuum. Do they pre-spray? Are they using the right chemistry? That's a big one. Are they using the right chemistry? Every situation is different. Is there pet stains? Is it just soil? Are there other stains that require different chemistry? Because different foods that spilled. If you got some acidic foods, then cool. You can use an alkaline-based cleaner to help break that up. Is it an alkaline type item or something that you might need to use a spotter on to get up? Is it something that needs a reducer, such as like red stains? Use basically a reducer, so that way you can try and pull that red out and get some transfer to take it out of the carpet, and then rinse the carpet and clean it. Is there pet urine? Does that need to be treated? Because you can't see any pet stains in this house on this carpet without a black light. Are they inspecting with a black light? So that should be actually number one. So number one, UV light, high-powered UV light. Check for stains that are not seen. Vacuuming, good pre-spray chemistry. If there's pet stains, are they treating those first and spraying them heavier like I did earlier for this situation? Are they using mechanical agitation or at least a carpet rake to agitate all the main traffic areas? And of course, rinsing and extracting, doing a good job rinsing and dry vacuuming to dry the carpet out as much as possible. Are they doing that? Are they using a good rinsing agent? So that could be number 6, to neutralize the carpet from the chemistry that you used to start cleaning it. Check for those things. I know this ended up being kind of long-winded. I apologize for that, but it's important stuff, and this will help you better understand the cleaning service that you're getting. And if unfortunately the only cleaners in your area are ones that don't go through all these steps, then you just kind of got to roll with the punches. And like I said earlier, make sure you vacuum really well before they get there if they don't offer that service. So I, in a way, try and be high quality and kind of like a convenience store. You stop by there because it's convenient. You know it costs more, but it's convenient. So I'm trying to add in the convenience of doing all these steps for somebody so they don't have to think about it or do it. With the vacuuming at the very least. Making sure that their home's going to be protected. All those things. So, doesn't hurt to vet your carpet cleaner. Ask them what their process is. If they tell you all the things that I've said, there's a good chance you're going to get a fantastic job because they probably care more. Especially if it's an owner-operator that's trying to grow his business and he understands the need for good chemistry and all the other steps. So take that into consideration, guys. Definitely appreciate you watching. I'm going to cut this part of the video and move on to the next. It is a little tough to push through one-handed. A little dense. I just want to thank you guys all for the support again. Last I checked, we were at 942 subscribers. That's amazing, guys. Thank you so much for that. We are on our way to that 1,000 mark. Let's see if we can hit it before February. It is the 21st of January right now. Let's see if we can do that, guys. Hit that like button, leave me a comment below. It triggers YouTube's algorithm to show it to more people in their recommendations that are looking for these types of videos. Holy moly, this is some dense carpet. Another quick tip, which I've mentioned probably quite a while back in some videos. You can always see how I'm going past my cleaning passes there, so boom, going a few inches past. It's always a smart move, because where you stop like that and you turn the trigger off, or if you are constantly running it, you want to make sure that you always go past, because that second or split second that you are stopping to go back, it's obviously putting more down right there than where it is when you're moving. So going past that last clean mark makes a big difference, so you pick up that moisture. So I try and not do that as often as releasing the trigger, unless it's pretty hammered. But then again, I always make sure that I'm doing enough dry passes. To make up for holding the trigger down. So that's what we got so far. It's really not that bad. There's this section right here that's looks like some furniture or something was here, and so in front of it is kind of bad. Oh, a little dingy, not bad. But so far so good, guys. So as you can tell, I am giving the hardwood a little bit of scrub. So I believe I mentioned earlier in the video I'm using IFT intensive floor treatment from Basic Coatings, designed for cleaning hardwood floors. So I'm doing, now that we're downstairs, we can manage to do a little bit larger of sections at a time. Adam is hand scrubbing the last few stairs, and then we'll be doing nothing but the rest of this kitchen and the dining room in the other area. Currently about to walk into the laundry section. I'm using very low pressure to extract this, and you got to watch for certain things like gouges in the floor. Also, make sure there's no planks that have gaps between them, and if they do, you kind of have to clean right up to them so you don't get moisture in between the planks. Now I'm misting the product on here. I'm not using a ton. So my next goal is to get a hardwood floor cleaning machine that was actually made by Basic Coatings, the company that makes this cleaning product. It helps speed up the cleaning process quite a bit. I mean, if you have to strip a floor, you pretty much have to come right back to the buffer. But when it's just maintenance, you know, doing like heavier cleaning than what a homeowner can do at home, then it speeds things up quite a bit. It's just a little pricey, but we're starting to get more hardwood floor jobs, even though we're not advertising it really. So I'm thinking about picking one of those up, because I have another client of mine that we just did carpets for, was it yesterday? No, Tuesday. I did a video on it while I was cleaning upstairs and Adam was doing upholstery downstairs. So she's going to want us back to do some hardwood floors that look kind of like this. So, but not until, she said not until February. So I'm going to order the machine. They didn't have it in stock. I was trying to have it for this job, but they only had it over on the East Coast, and it was going to take probably a minimum of 5 days before it would get to me. And I booked this job, I think it was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So I literally, or no, Monday. I booked it Monday, so I would have literally had to order it Monday and hope that I would get it in time. So I waited, which I'm glad I did, because I found a place that's a little closer that has it, and it was a little bit cheaper. Same exact machine and everything, but a little cheaper. So this is kind of a textured hardwood floor. If you're looking really close, you can see some areas where it looks dirty, and then as soon as I go over it with the buffer, it kind of breaks it up. You don't notice it as well. It's hard to tell probably on the video, but there's some areas where it is kind of bad. So I just wanted to show you guys buffing. It's just like any of the other videos. Slow passes back and forth with this type of machine. There are better options, of course, but it starts to get expensive, but you know, in the long run it makes your job easier. So those are things that I'm wanting to invest in to make my job easier and give people amazing results still. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm going to finish this up, get this rinsed out, keep moving.